Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Today's episode of The Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by our bonus packages. Please go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on the bonus banner. You'll get access to all of our bonus content, and even better, you'll be helping out TMOS. So please quit sucking, and we thank you.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's The Mike O'Mara Show.
Good morning.
I just felt like doing that. Hi.
That's
Good
called
morning.
Mike. That's called eefing.
Eefing. Do you have eefing? I know
Yes, I do.
You're going into your machine to see if we have eefing.
The machine.
By the way, it's Wednesday. That means yaks today. Tons of them, and we'll get to those momentarily. So keep them coming. I don't know whether to preview this prior to the Yak Shack or after the Yak Shack to ask for next week's yaks.
Or
And
do
I
you
don't
have
know whether
like a topic you want to suggest?
yes, and I don't know whether I will regret this or I will be delighted with this.
Could you overprogram the segment?
I don't think I'm going to overprogram this.
Or underprogram, even worse.
Well, when I've requested people to call first thing in the morning,
Yes.
that's resulted in some fun.
Yes.
When I've asked for complaints and criticism, that's every week, and that's fun too for me.
Very clear.
And what I'm asking for now is based on you boys know that yesterday or maybe the day before, was that you or me?
That was me. My bad. Sorry about that. I
Wow,
hate the
okay.
stupid Siri.
But anyway, well, it's Apple technology. We talked about that yesterday.
We did.
Love it. But anyway, the request I make for next week's Yak Shack are jokes.
Oh, that's dangerous ground.
Wow, especially this time of year.
Let me tell you why it's not. Why it's not, and this is.
Let me tell you why it's not.
Because this is an edited feature. I screen.
There's a screen.
The yaks, and that's what has made the Yak Shack unbelievably successful. And I don't want to be like Donald Trump, but I will tell you, I am delighted with the segment. The segment has legs. It continues to have legs. I love.
Not sad.
It's not sad. I love hearing from our listeners. It's
Pony,
pleasurable to me.
Mark this as a time capsule moment in the show.
absolutely.
As a matter
I'll
of fact,
bring
you
it
may
back
want to
up.
go ahead and engrave this
When
in
you
marble.
So you're going to play. Feel free to play this back when I have my first real meltdown where the yaks are that terrible. But you know I told you that little joke that my cousin told,
Yes,
right?
it's a wonderful joke.
That I loved. And by the way, it's like every really great joke that I love, some people really dig it, and usually the fairer sex.
Yeah,
It's not
a
doesn't love it as much.
It's not
as
a
I
joke
love
that you would drop on a bunch of 20-somethings.
No, what you do is you know your audience.
Well, hold on, whoa.
Yeah, he took a
you don't
different
think-
direction.
So
Yeah.
see, I didn't see that coming. So you think do you think it's an old man joke?
Absolutely.
You know what I
100%.
think? I think that the 20-somethings, Mike. I don't think.
Thank you.
I don't think
Thank you,
20-somethings like.
a-hole.
I'm being honest with you.
I don't think 20-somethings like jokes.
It's not a dad joke.
No, it's not. It's a
But
fine
Not
joke.
a dad joke.
But it's a sexist old man joke.
It's not a sexist joke.
It's not at all. What it is,
It's not really a sexist.
It's
Well, I
not
can't-
sexist at all.
I'll tell you, I'm probably the one that works with that age group more than anyone else, and I have to watch my P's and Q's. I'm sure I got to come up with why does the lady got to be doing the blowing? Why does she got to be doing the blowing? Why can't the lady have no legs in the joke? You'd get this entire conversation about
Don't be
what's
telling
right.
my punchline now.
No, but I'm saying in general.
He
that's
gave
what
a
would
little
happen.
tip. He gave a little window to the joke, didn't he?
Yeah, well, not
He
really.
told the
'cause
joke
you
on
know
the
what?
show yesterday.
No, he told it after the show.
I told it after the show. I don't have Alzheimer's. You do.
I do.
Yeah,
Spots
There
on
you
my
go.
brain.
but I will
How
tell you
dare I?
this: I don't think the younger generation appreciates a good joke. You don't hear it from them. They
But sexist is not something I would be.
that's not saying. You know what it was? It was off color. That's it.
It was probably.
What's off color to you, Rob Spiewak?
Off color. That joke. You know what? Bad language. Non-FCC friendly language.
Racism.
Racism is beyond off color. Racism
Is racism.
is not okay. And remember, if you think you might be, you are.
Oh God! All right.
Now, Mike,
my face hurts.
let me
It's
tell you
early in
this.
the show, I am not prepared to smile. During
Let me
the
tell you
show.
something.
Ooh, that hurts.
Mike, on the show Hee Haw, which got his start as a network program, but then worked went on to a long syndicated run. There was two regulars named Riddle and Phelps.
There were two regulars. Your grammar is incorrect.
Okay, there was a pair. that was a regular feature called Riddle and Phelps, and they did what was called eefing, and that involves like a body hand slap deal, almost like a ham bone, and then a peculiar noise that you make with your mouth. It's a very
spectacular
backwoodsy
sound.
It is
a spectacular sound.
But what happened is in the 1960s, there was a soul artist named Joe Perkins who was able to couple it with what has got sort of a Memphis sound, and he had a moderate hit record called Little Ethan Annie. And it goes...
Little Ethan Annie,
kind of a rap song.
Mine, oh mine. Little Ethan Annie has a terrible time. It don't make no difference what she tries to say.
How are the 20-somethings like this?
Love it.
It always come out this way.
I still haven't seen an episode of Hee Haw, even on reruns. When they come out.
Well, I got a girl named Annie, and she's mine, oh mine. But
Still
when
holds
she
up.
gets
Great.
excited, she has an awful time.
So this is actually Riddle and Phelps with the soul singer. He contracted them to make the song. Oh, here comes the break, Mike. Here we go.
Always have to wait 'cause she goes.
Pick me up today.
Fabulous.
Well, I took Annie right.
Fabulous.
And we went to
That's
Hee
the only
Haw,
word I have for it.
The reason Oscar never saw Hee Haw is because he grew up in an age of cable TV. If you grew up in an age of 4 channels, Hee Haw was all you had Saturday nights at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, it truly was. And you just caught it. I mean, you... All right, that's enough. That'll be enough. Thank you.
I have a couple of Hee Haw DVDs, and I tell you what, that's a show that is not meant to be seen in high definition. Because when they've got old men that are sleeping in front of, I don't know, a gas station, or if
Yeah.
you've got like Tanya Tucker singing in a haunted shack, you wonder
Right.
why the ground is just painted blue. It's
Yes,
not.
this is true.
It's
'Cause
really
it's a back
surreal.
lot in Burbank.
Oh, worse than that. It was shot in Nashville.
Oh, it was shot in Nashville.
That's
Was it
how they
really?
got all the good country acts, Mike.
Gloom, despair, and
Agony on me.
Deep, dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, whatever it is. Something like that. Right?
He goes
pretty
like
good.
Of course.
Sounds like this.
He has it. He's got the hee-haw. Look at how excited he is. This is hee-haw.
655 episodes.
Oh, it ran
Yes.
forever.
Holy smokes.
Oh.
This is hee-haw.
Now, Oscar, here will come a joke.
44 minutes.
Here comes a joke. Ready?
I stand 6'8" when I'm completely unfurled. And to find a mate, I've looked all over this world. Then a store downtown advertised everything for us tall guys. And they had everything except tall girls.
That's so bad.
Really not
That's
even
so
funny at all.
Horrible.
And yet it
All right,
ran
that's enough. Turn
for
it off. I
30
can't stand it now.
years.
I'm beginning to hate hee-haw all over again.
Oh, well,
hee-haw
Ken-
was the country version of Laugh-In, and it wasn't
Exactly. It was the country music, but it had good country music if you like country music.
Quite a
funny.
run.
It had great talent. I mean, Roy Clark, fantastic guitar player.
Oh, and
But,
Buck Owens and the Buckaroos, the house band. Great
71
stuff.
to 82, gentlemen.
71 to 19. It ran till 1982.
Sure. And before
Wow.
that, it had a
I
network run. That's the
graduated
syndicated
college
run.
before it went off the air.
It was part of the legendary CBS decountrification when they canceled the Hillbillies and Green Acres and all that stuff because Paley, I think it was Bill Paley's wife, was at a party and they said, "Oh, you work for that Hillbilly network." And he can and on that base. I mean, they had strong ratings, but he canceled all those shows. Petticoat Junction as well. He said, "I don't want any of that on the Tiffany network."
But they were dumb shows, too.
They were,
What
but
did he
then-
can? I mean, Beverly Hillbillies was a stupid show.
Yeah, but it made a lot of money.
It made a lot of, well, that's what my grandmother used to say when it came to Lawrence Welk.
No, well,
They would
it's
say,
true.
I want to thank you, boys. And I'd say, oh, my God, Graham, he's horrible.
But you know
And he'd
what?
say,
You
yeah,
see-
but he makes a lot of money. Like, that's the American system, right? It's like, oh, what an idiot he is. Oh, that
But the
Epstein,
thing is
what a
that-
pervert. Yeah, but he's got a lot of money.
If
right?
you look at the show Green Acres, though, it was just at that time in its 5th season getting to a really strange, almost surreal point. One of my favorite comedies because it made no sense at all. And it got caught up in this stupid Mrs. Paley.
You weren't really discerning when it came to the Magic Box. There wasn't much you didn't love.
Box
when you were a
raised you.
boy. When you
I was
Yeah,
raised
the
by
box
the box.
raised you,
Yes.
did it not?
Yes. Don't
the
speak-
television raised you. How much television, when you were, say, 9,
Yes.
did you watch?
19
When
you're
you were-
talking
You know
1980.
what? Let's do this for a second.
All
This
right.
is going to be fun. This is going to be big fun. I want you, Robb Spiewak. Wait, let me get the right stuff for it. Hold on just a second. All right. I want you, Robb Spiewak.
Right.
I want you to take a trip down memory lane. All right. I want you to go way back. I want you to go way back in the Robb Spiewak memory banks. And I want you to imagine a summer day. We're in summer. This is a perfect discussion for this. Take us through and tell us what would a normal summer day for Robb Spiewak consist of when you were a small child.
Television. It
All
really
day.
did. Really. I mean, there would be occasional trips to the beach, and there was no TV at the beach, of course. But if you were at home, you weren't really.
You would wake up in the morning.
Yeah, we didn't. You know what? We didn't have a pool membership, so I couldn't go to the pool like some kids. So it would be.
Would you have gone if you had a membership?
I did. Well, we eventually did, and yeah, when we
went
moved,
to the pool.
Yeah,
Okay.
when we
Couldn't
lived
you
in
go
Vienna.
with friends, maybe as a guest?
No, I didn't have a lot of friends.
But that's a little bit in the weeds. I'm asking for a normal day. So
I would
you would
say
wake
I-
up
I
in the morning.
wake
And don't
up-
just say television. I want detail.
All right, I would say I would get
I
up.
want coming down in your jammies
Yeah.
with the feet in them and sitting there. I want breakfast. And then because I'd like
And the
to know
sleeping cap.
when this personality was formed.
I would probably get up and then go. You see, you didn't have to come downstairs because
I'm glad you would get up.
Thank you.
Not that much detail. Broad strokes.
And the house was mostly on one level,
You
so I
want
don't.
broad strokes. I want detail.
well, he's
What's
talking
wrong
about
with
taking
it?
a step down the stairs.
Because I'm imagining the house I lived in when I
Okay.
was 7. It was
Okay.
it was an ancient little baby house. If you
Was
can
Dad
imagine,
out of the picture yet?
No, Dad was still there. It was
Dad was still there.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mom and Dad
so-
were faking it. It was working out. I take after him. So we.
Oh, no.
There used to be a thing in the
I'll
Depression.
Yes.
It was called Sears Pre-Cut House. And you would call or write a letter to Sears and write them your check, and they would send you all the lumber for a house, and you'd put it together. Now,
But your dad didn't put it
No,
together.
no, but this is the house we lived in, and it was a
You lived
tiny.
in a prefab Sears house.
It was built in the 30s or maybe even the 20s. It was tiny. So
Okay.
it was all on one level. Essentially, my bedroom was up like 3 steps, and then the
Okay.
kitchen was in the basement. So
All
I
right.
had to come downstairs, maybe 3 steps, then down to the basement. And I'm thinking cereal, and the
How
cereal.
far down would you have to go to the Really, the basement?
Yeah, it was a full 13 steps down. I mean, it was a subterranean deal.
It was underground, your kitchen?
Well, the front of it was because we had a rear exit. The house, I guess,
Where was
built
the
into
home?
The home was in McLean, Virginia. If
Okay.
you know
all
the
right, so I get it. This is small. This is
I'm
not a
talking
big place.
small.
Rhode Island could beat the crap out of it in a war. I'm talking small. So you go down and then it's access to the outside.
To the access, or you could have the front door,
the driveway,
right? And the cereal that I remember from my
Would
youth.
it have best been described as a split foyer?
No, not at all. This house, and
No?
by the way, this house is many years gone. Been
Okay.
replaced by a mansion now because it's a very, very pricey district now. But it was
I get
the
it because
sticks.
you lived in the high rent district, which would go on to be the high rent
Exactly,
McLean,
but it
right?
wasn't then. It was so
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the only room in the house that was spacious was the bathroom because that was originally a bedroom. Because this house was built when there were outhouses. That's how old this house was.
Wow.
So
wow.
We
That's
actually had
something else.
in the backyard. One of the things I would play with when I go outside, we had a non-functioning, but the water pump from the days of old when you have to go
That's
outside.
kind of fun,
Yeah, it was
right?
great. It was cool. And there was
How often did you go outside? A couple of times a year?
when the weather was nice. Didn't like the heat. Didn't like the cold.
So summer didn't like the heat, didn't like the. So we'd see you go out to the water pump during springtime.
That's right, or fall. Maybe the fall.
All right, so you go down to breakfast.
Yeah, and the cereal I remember.
Do you remember what kind of PJs you wore? That now I wouldn't remember that, so that's hard for me. But
I remember Spider-Man or some sort of superhero-themed pajamas.
cute little Rob.
Thank you. And
All
maybe a Winnie the Pooh, actually, I'm thinking.
Okay, all right, very good. Very
There's that
sweet.
voice again.
Very sweet.
So down.
Bothered. It looks like someone's going to be incarcerated.
All right, that was yesterday's show. Sorry. All
Down
right.
to, please keep up, people, and then go down to the kitchen. And the cereal I remember was Frankenberries. Loved Frankenberries.
Delightful cereal.
And
Delightful
then
cereal.
probably get the bowl of Frankenberries, and then head back up to the living room, and where we
in
had
your jammies.
Yeah,
Okay.
and where
all
we
right.
had a 19-inch. I believe it was a Zenith television, full color, Mike. Beautiful.
Color TV, that's
Yep.
all you need.
And
right?
we had the rotating antenna, where if you wanted to get a channel, you had to pull the remote out and hit it, and the antenna would spin to try to pick it.
So your father and mom
Pretty
were
modern.
into TV too.
Well, yeah. Well, Dad loved electronics. Bob was a stereo head at that point.
Okay, all right. My dad was an audiophile too.
He had
loved,
a beautiful
hi-fi.
reel-to-reel deck and beautiful
Oh,
turntable.
so he
and all
was
the-
super into
yeah,
it.
he
Okay,
like
all right.
Dolby.
So TV would be like breakfast and then into the living room. And,
and then I'd have, and I seem to remember the days of Captain Kangaroo. I did watch Captain Kangaroo.
so you're just old enough to remember.
Yeah, the
Captain
tail end
Kangaroo.
of it. He was sick at the
Yeah.
time.
Captain Kangaroo.
Oh,
you never
no.
watched Captain
No.
Kangaroo.
No.
Bob Keeshan.
Yeah, he was on a ventilator when I watched.
My father was a friend of. This is a true story. My dad was a friend of Mr. Green Jeans.
Really?
Yes, they were pages at NBC together.
Oh, I didn't know the Page came up.
when-
That Green Jeans came up through the Page system.
He came up through the page system.
Did he have the
back in
jeans
the day
then?
when my father was being, groped by no, it was
When
no,
Fred Waring touched your father.
when Fred Waring was touching him. But back in the day, he'd smack me if he heard me say that. He'd be mad at me for saying that. But anyway, yeah. So it was Mr. Green Jeans, and then how much of like an average day? How much time would be spent in that room in front of the box?
Well, eventually it got to after I would get up and I remember there was at that time sitcoms on in the morning, and I remember watching Dick Van Dyke a lot. I Love
Okay.
Lucy was always on. I love the black and white even then,
Right.
until of course 11 o'clock, and then you watch The Price is Right. And that's a rule. That's a solid. But by the time
That's every
11
day.
o'clock, yeah, but by the time 11 o'clock rolled around, I probably had walked up the hill to my grandparents' house because Big
Okay.
Daddy's house was just up the street. And
All right.
so the thing is that I was okay to be left alone at like second or third grade because my parents were working.
Mm-hmm.
But
There's a small chain in the living room attached to the sofa. Excuse me.
I could run, I could dig. It was great. The
So
chain
you'd be
was
left
long
alone.
enough to go
You'd be
to
left
the pub.
alone in your house, and then
Well, then
you'd
I'd-
walk by yourself up there. Both you guys were latchkey kids.
Yeah, but the reason is that it wasn't that I was required to have care. There was something always going on up there because the siblings were only 9 or 10 years older than me, so they were still at home. So there's always stuff going.
There was farming.
There was farming. There was the vegetable stand. There was the stand to
Okay.
tend. There was
So
farming.
you'd hang out all day with the. So you did stuff outdoors.
Yeah, and there was TV on there too. I was probably one of the youngest viewers that followed the plot of All My Children because the stories were on in the afternoon.
And you'd watch.
Yeah, well, Mike, it was the modern day equivalent of the fireplace. You
Was
always
there a
gather-
Mrs. Big Daddy? I never
Yeah,
heard
Grandmama.
much about. Grandmama was there. And you don't hear much about. She predeceased your grandpa.
She died in '92, I think. I
Okay,
was still in
all right,
college,
all
yeah,
right.
but she
So
was very,
we-
very key in my raising as well. I
All
just
right.
spent more time towards the end of the.
You watched the stories with her.
Yeah, we watched All My Children, and which is why I sort of had a jump on it when we used to watch it at WJFK.
Yeah, you knew.
I knew,
Asa Buchanan and all.
Well,
the
Asa
characters.
was One Life to Live. Come on, Mike.
Sorry about that.
What you
Sorry.
want to talk about is Erica
Yeah.
Kane or Palmer Courtland or
Okay, very good. All right,
You
thank
know.
and so then it would be when
Myrtle
would you leave?
Fargate.
When would you leave Big Daddy?
I'd stay there till about dinner. But you see, 3 o'clock is when General Hospital came on, and Grandmama didn't watch General Hospital. So then it was off to Channel 45 because their high proximity on the hill, they could pick up some of the Baltimore stations.
And what would you watch on Channel 45?
Channel 45 was Captain Chesapeake, and he would host between all the shows, and he would 3 bells, time for the Munsters, or 5 bells, time for Lancelot Link. And so there was a
Wow.
rotating. But the beautiful thing about the Channel 45 is Captain Chesapeake hosted the shows, and he'd
Right.
show kids artwork and stuff. So that was a little more interactive. I like
Is that the one?
Yeah, exactly. And he had a sea monster as a co-host that was a puppet. I think his name was Nessie. I don't know. Chessie. Maybe
Oscar, are you
Chessie
getting a
for
better
the
picture
Chesapeake.
of this now? Are you getting a better picture of what formed our boy here? This
You
is
mentioned something at the beginning of this conversation
Which was?
that you didn't have a lot of friends.
I didn't.
How did you not make friends?
What do you mean?
You
How
seem
did-
very affable. I would imagine that they would.
Well,
they
you know
would
what?
come
I
up.
did okay at school. I was not
Right.
an outcast in school, but there weren't kids of my age on my block.
Okay,
And
in
I
the
didn't have
neighborhood,
them- yeah.
right.
So I always did better with older people.
Oh.
Kind of like your dad and Fred Waring.
I'm curious
So
because
this is
usually
why-
you hang out with kids, contemporaries, I guess,
Yeah.
your age. Or
How
go
many
over their
years
house.
would you say this drill went? Like, how many summers do you think? this was the drill.
Well, until I was 16, because when I got my license, then you had the ability.
Your whole life.
Well, yeah,
but all your formative years were the magic bomb. This is it, Oscar. We have the answer. This is where the pop culture comes from.
It got a little worse after 4th or 5th grade, because that's when we moved out to Vienna, and I was no longer walking distance from the house up the hill. So then there was even more time spent watching
because
television.
You would be left alone and that all you
Vienna.
have was your 4 walls.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Were there more kids in Vienna?
Yeah, there were some, but they were mostly jerks. I didn't have anyone cool in my neighborhood.
Oh, no one was cool enough for you to hang out with.
Or maybe they were too cool.
Well, there's a little insight into your world. That's very, very cool.
And you know what? Because I don't think it's cool at all. As a matter of fact, upon revisiting, it's very sad.
Yes.
But
it's sad.
It has served me well
lonely.
in that the innate love of media brought me to where I am today. I mean, I was a fanatic radio listener by that time. It's what brought me to actually listening to you. And so that was very cool.
When was the first call you made? How old were you when you made your first call to the Don and Mike Show?
Probably 14 or 15, because you start, I mean, it goes way back. I remember when you guys signed on in the morning. I remember the first show.
You've known me for a long time.
Oh, Mike, I've been with you longer than all your wives put together.
That's the start of the show. No more for that.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business. From the entertainment capital of the world.
Welcome to Shawshank.
Mr. Hadley, do you trust your wife?
Oh, that's funny. You're gonna look funnier sucking my with no teeth. Step aside, Mert. This is having himself an accident.
You don't push him off the roof. Because if you do trust her, there's no reason you can't keep that $35,000.
35,000.
All of it.
All of it?
Every penny.
You better start making sense.
If you want to keep all that money, give it to your wife. The IRS allows a one-time only gift to your spouse for up to $60,000.
Bullshit. Tax-free?
Tax-free. IRS can't touch 1 cent.
You're that smart banker what killed his wife, aren't you? Why should I believe a smart banker like you? So I can end up in here with you?
It's perfectly legal. Go ask the IRS. They'll say the same thing. Actually, I feel stupid telling you this. I'm sure you would have investigated the matter yourself.
Yeah, f***ing A. I don't need no smart wife-killing banker to tell me where the bear in the buckwheat.
But you do need someone to set up the tax-free gift for you, and that'll cost you. A lawyer, for example.
Bunch of bastards.
Right. I suppose I could set it up for you. That would save you some money. If you get the forms, I'll prepare them for you, nearly free of charge. I'd only ask 3 beers apiece for each of my co-workers.
Co-workers, get him. That's rich, ain't it?
I think a man working outdoors feels more like a man if you can have a bottle of suds.
Andy crawled to freedom through 500 yards of smelling foulness I can't even imagine. Or maybe I just don't want to. 500 yards. That's the length of 5 football fields. Just shy of half a mile.
It is said that the people are revolting.
You said it. They stink on ice.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Robb Speedwack, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Podcast Village studios in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Welcome to our little box of chocolates.
Oh, yeah.
Where you never know what you're going to get. Glad to have you with us from Vladimir, Russia to Isla Springs, Maine, from Lee's Summit, Missouri to Coin Jock, North Carolina, from Yountville, California. I hope it's Yountville and not Yountville. I don't know, because I'm not. Somebody will tell us next week on the
Yes, they will.
To Cunvellenbach, Wales. Ooh, what's the piece of cat? The show today brought to you by Cornerstone First Financial. Summertime. Temperatures are rising, but conversely, mortgage rates are falling. That means it's a perfect time to call Cornerstone First Financial. Yes, low rates, baby, and Cornerstone can save you big bucks. So whether you're buying a house or refinancing or just want to get a little cash in hand to make it a great summer, you've got to act right now while the market is still on your side. Call Cornerstone. Do it. Do it. Here's the best part. The folks at Cornerstone First Financial are TMOS listeners just like you.
Just like you.
If you don't understand the intricacies of high finance, no sweat, they do, and they'll take care of you. Trust the friends of TMOS. Sooner or later, inflationary pressure will push these rates back to realistic levels, so this won't last. Act now. Cornerstone is licensed in California, Maryland, Virginia, D.C., Florida, and Colorado. Click their banner on our website. Visit cornerstonefirst.com or call them 866-625-1221. That's 866-625-1221. Cornerstone First Financial. Personal attention from application to closing, ladies and gentlemen. We've got tons of yaks. We're going to get right to it, everybody.
Oh, it begins. The fun begins now.
It begins, the Yak Shack. And by the way, if you would like to leave a yak at any time, our phone number is 888-920-MORE. That's 888-920-6673. And Pony, get that phone number up on the webpage where everybody can see it with no waiting.
Yeah, like a call now.
Yes.
Yes. Please
Operators are standing by.
Call from that.
People can see it. Let's start with the very first call. The reason I'm doing it early is because we run out of time every week on the Yak Shack. So I wanted to give them their due. This first call simply says road trip. Are you ready, boys?
Yes, go.
Let's listen.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Rob. Hey, Oscar. This is Mike from Long Island, New York.
Hello.
Just wanted to let you guys know, went on a nice road trip with my wife and my 3-year-old son.
Lovely.
And we went to Detroit, saw my wife's brother, had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I learned so much from my 3-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned so much from Mike and Rob about raising a son. I've always listened back in the NEW days, and now that I have a son, I have more of an appreciation for what Mike and Rob go through.
That's nice.
But yesterday was the 4th, and he was done. My wife was done. We were all done. We were in Pittsburgh, our last leg of the trip before we headed home, and gave him a bath, and he started crying. Like, Dad, I just want to go home. And that's how I think we all felt. We just wanted to go home. But we're watching the fireworks from our hotel room in Pittsburgh, and you have to remember, too, he's a 3-year-old. He's been watching Incredibles, too, like crazy. I don't know if you're going to get this. I don't care, but we're watching the fireworks last night, and he goes to me and he says, Dad, did you wash your hands? And it was a line from the movie, and it was just joy that he can joke around with me.
Yeah.
Something
I get
that is a 3-year-old humor.
I get it.
And I find it so funny.
I get it. It's a moment. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's my wife calling on my phone.
Better get that.
You better go take that.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you. Good call. You know what? A good call.
That was a good call.
And I kept it because it was a good call. And that is a moment, I can't pinpoint it because I don't remember. It's not that big a deal. But when you realize that your little one has the gift of comedy where there's a little, regurgitating something from a movie and I've said this, and look, he may not be a captain of industry, but I will tell you this. My number one quality that I wanted in my son was a sense of humor. I wanted him to be able to laugh. I did. That's probably not what a lot of fathers want, the ones that, I love that he can laugh. Because that to me is and that he can make me laugh. And he makes me laugh. I know already that he's just kind of a funny kid because he laughs. He makes me laugh just doing stuff. Just being there, he makes me
He'll
laugh.
have friends. He'll have friends.
Rob, you were funny. Were you funny as a boy?
Very much so.
Were you quiet?
Yeah, no, I was not quiet. Self-control was probably a lingering issue on all of my report cards. You know why that kid was crying, Mike? Is because they vacationed in Pittsburgh and Detroit.
Yeah. I know. A road trip to Detroit for the 4th of July. No, thank you.
You should just mail them your wallet and save the time.
Thank you. I'll be right there. Okay, from a nice little call to whenever I label a call, get to the point.
Oh, boy.
Who knows? Let's listen to the TMOS Yak Shack, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the 4th or 5th time I've got the same yak.
Oh.
Perhaps it will get played.
Yeah. All right. What?
So, I have two things to say. What are the two things?
Number one.
Oh, yeah. First and foremost,
okay.
I was wondering if anybody thought that
Okay, right there.
What?
Okay, that is an unnecessary pause.
Oh, okay,
That is
it
an
didn't just end
unnecessary
there.
pause.
A massive
No,
pause.
that is a
Yeah.
massive pause where I stopped it. I'll
Okay,
continue it.
good,
but,
good.
maybe I know why I labeled this call. Get to the point.
Dahlia was the love child of Jennifer Wisniewski and Michael Mara.
Okay, all right, very good.
Listening to Jennifer Wisniewski and the Passions like that. Got that.
What?
Yeah, let's go. But I think that she's bequeathed her party voice to Dahlia. God bless her. And now I'm totally. Oh yeah, Robbie.
Yeah, here's the second point.
Next point. Point 2.
This is the 15th time I'm going to leave this show. After this, it goes away if it doesn't get played.
All right.
Anywho, so Rob, if
get to the point.
Beyonce's sister married Julian Assange, what would her name be?
Boy, that's a
I'll
poser.
hang up and listen.
Okay.
Yeah. You hang up and listen.
It took a long time.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I get it.
So he's
All right,
posing
thank you
some
very
marital
much.
theory, and he'd like to know, this would be contingent on whether or not the sister took her married name.
Fair.
Okay.
But let's say she did.
Now, the Beyonce's sister
This is not
marries
Beyonce.
Julian Assange.
Right. And so the document would, she'd have to go and get her license changed and all of this.
Right.
And
right.
it would read perhaps
And if she went through with the marriage,
right,
and then went to the Grammys and had a hit of her own,
right,
and was introduced because she was part of Destiny's Child, right?
Yes.
She was part.
Well,
the sister
she's famous in
No,
her own
the
right.
sister wasn't part of Destiny's Child.
Oh, she wasn't part of Destiny's
No,
Child?
but she was a fan of
But
Destiny's
she was a
Child.
solo artist. She's
Yeah,
made
solo,
her own
yeah,
music.
solo artist, yes.
And
so
so
if she married Julian Assange and then she was introduced at the Grammys, how would they introduce her?
They would say, "Ladies and gentlemen,
Solange
She should have been in Destiny's Child.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
She was literally one of the children.
She was Destiny's children.
Well, believe it or not, that call did have a point at the end.
Yeah,
and,
it just took a
take
while.
Would you like a movie review?
Yes,
Let's
yes,
get a
please.
Oh, God,
movie
yes.
review on the TMOS Yak Shack.
What up, fellas? It's Chris out in Cameron Park, and I know I'm late to the party and I'm beating a dead horse, but I just got to reach out because last night we sat down and watched the movie Us, and I got to tell you, I'm lost. I'm at a complete loss as to what I'm working with here. I just felt like everyone was complaining about the rabbits, and I don't even have a problem with the rabbits. I have a problem with the tunnels, and the movie didn't make much sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't even like scary movies.
I'm with you.
And I was almost not going to watch it, and then we watched it. It's like, well, the movie's not even scary. It's lame. And the girl was creepy. And I don't know how they...
Let me just say, these calls fill my soul.
Yes.
They actually fill my soul. This is
they're
my...
listening.
And you know what? And that
this
guy
is
is-
my middle of the week. This is my middle of the week, like, recharge of batteries here. I love the Yak Shack now as much as anything I've done since we've done this particular
And
incarnation
that guy
of the show.
feels so much better getting this off his chest.
Oh, and he's
it's
right.
a service. It's a
He's
service.
right. By the way, I spent a good chunk of my birthday weekend arguing with my oldest daughter about this
merits,
movie.
yeah.
That she loved this movie, and I think the kids love this movie. It's why it was
Sure.
a big hit.
They love this
is
movie,
Us.
and then they go and have their water fast. And
Let's listen to the rest of this
They
call.
live down in tunnels, and why he did the thing at the beginning where he said all these tunnels no one knows about. I mean, am I wrong here? You got to shoot me straight. Again, this has been out for a while now, and I can see why the ratings are going down with each day. But I'm just, I got to open this back up, man. I felt like after watching it, it was like, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Now he's going, where's he going?
What was that, I mean, give me your input one more time, please. Let's all circle back. Let's come together as a group, and let's decide if this is a movie that you should be telling people, save yourself the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't watch the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or go ahead and watch it, but we're just going to warn you, it's kind of crap. So, I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think.
Don't be,
Talk
you
to
don't,
later.
sir, you're being too defensive. This
You're
movie
entitled
sucked.
to your own opinion.
This movie, Oscar, you liked it, right? Did you like it more than I liked it?
I liked it, but I went in with the
lowered expectations.
No,
right?
no, I went in with high expectations because we were all led to believe this was the new coming of Alfred Hitchcock.
Right, exactly.
And that high praise set the movie up for a big disappointment. If I had just walked in willy-nilly like I did to Spider-Man this past weekend and just said, how can they make this movie as good as Endgame? I don't have that many high expectations. I would have walked out of that movie and said, that was different. Interesting.
It was different.
Not good. But
I love Get Out so
much.
much.
Not a masterpiece.
It's Jordan Peele.
Yes.
Jordan Peele. And you're right. They were anointing him as the next master of horror. And I expected so much more. And it was such it was so out there. And look, I think these guys that and women that have a smash hit, and when they go off on a tangent, sometimes nobody wants to rein them in, and nobody wants to really give them an honest appraisal. Now, I don't know if it went down like that, but this movie, it got back to what the caller was saying. It didn't make sense to me. It was just and look, movies don't always have to make sense. Books don't have to make sense. Art doesn't have to make sense. But I like them too. And when I'm consuming something like Get Out, which makes a lot of sense at the end, and it comes together, it's the way I like that. This was all, this was all very unusual.
And it was anointed.
in the movie.
It was anointed. Oh, you mean
There's
Mike?
someone else in my apartment.
Mike and Jennifer's love child? That's right. The movie was anointed before it was ever released.
It was.
And it had the same effect. Do you remember when the Blair Witch Project came out, and in about 9 days, everyone said it was the greatest thing that had ever been released?
Greatest horror experience and it was garbage.
It was a total waste.
Crap. It was first.
It was
you can't compare Jordan Peele's latest effort to the Blair Witch Project, which was one of a kind.
Why can't I? Why can't I? They're both horror movies.
But it was
they're both motion pictures.
It was the first of its kind ever to hit theaters.
With the POV,
yes.
Okay, it was. I understand that, but at
POV
the same time,
is quite popular online, though.
But I look when you got all when you get all that hype, and you're sitting there going, "This is going to be really terrifying," and it wasn't.
No,
it's just a lot of running through the woods, Josh.
Yeah, and an ending that some people saw and some people didn't.
Right?
They said, "Didn't you see that?" I said, "No."
A great thriller horror, a horror thriller,
right?
A great one. And we bought a great one. To me, is almost more difficult than any other genre, than a comedy or they come along once maybe a decade if you get a good one. They can win an Academy Award like Silence of the Lambs,
right?
Which
Agreed.
Still is a terrifying movie. It's hard to do. It's hard to do well, and you don't. And
it gets harder as your viewer gets smarter and more in tune with what goes on.
This is why when there's a sequel or something's going to come out and it actually works, I feel like, okay, box office wise, you probably did well because you got a built-in audience.
Sure.
But if you're the director or the writer or the producer, you probably have to think really hard, is this going to taint my overall work? Because there's no way. I spent a lifetime putting together this first movie, and maybe I've written a second.
Right.
So, and I'll give a nod of the cap to, and I know not everybody's into this, but Stranger Things.
Tip of the cap.
Thank you. Tip of the cap. Stranger Things is, this season I think is better than the first or second. The third season that just came out, Mike, on Netflix. And for the Duffer Brothers to actually complete, like to eclipse what they did in the first and second season blows my mind.
So you're that happy with this season of Stranger Things?
I thought it was, and again, I went in with...
Because you just binged it. You just binged the whole thing.
Yes.
I'm 2 episodes in.
What do you think so far?
I love it. And it has a better, more faithful period flavor than the others. They've obviously got more money to deal with now. It really is like stepping into 1985.
Right,
and for me, that's really cool. But the story's great too.
Enjoy it, Mike.
I think you would too. I think the second season wasn't as good.
No.
First season was delightful. And I think the third, I can't wait to get
As you know, right now, we're almost exclusively Scott and Bailey on BBC. And that gets, we get that. There's some nights with that where we'll watch,
like, all right,
we'll watch
enough.
one of them and it's still a crime drama and you get kind of saturated with that. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll have a really bad call that starts out the Yak Shack when we come back.
Good value-added teaser, Mike.
You know how, well, I label them, Rob, and this one says, I don't understand.
Oh, that's
so
good.
That's what we'll have.
Maybe it's about that Jordan Peele movie.
Come back on the Mike O'Barry Show.
Yet I look for the light through the
There he is.
TMOS Live 10th
All right.
Anniversary Spectacular at the
down.
Zappos Council Chambers Theater on November 15th and 16th. UP1 sold out the first show, but the second show still has a few tickets left. And in case you've been living under a rock, both shows are going to be completely different from each other. So that means you need to go to both of them. So do your Paisan Paulie a favor. Head over to the MikeO'MaraShow.com website and buy the tickets. Let's sell this out. Because Mike has enough agita in his life already.
Agita.
Capiche? Grazie mille grazie.
A major announcement. Thank you very much, Paulie. A major announcement regarding the second show.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Mara has informed me legitimately that if we sell out this week, this week, she will model her Third Love bra on the regular show. Well, not the bonus show, on the regular show. That would be Friday.
Wins. Everybody.
That would be Friday that she would show.
I'll take 5 tickets.
That's fantastic.
She would. So just saying yes.
Big
I
win.
am not above exploiting the sexuality of my
Mike,
my
you're in
beautiful bride.
You're in a secure relationship.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming up on our 10th wedding
Yeah.
anniversary. How about that?
Yeah.
There you go. New record for me. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show.
Every day better than the previous.
Brought to you by Stamps.com. Just like you. Here's a fact. No one has time to go to the post office. The traffic, the parking, the lines, lugging your packages, it's a hassle, man. Which is exactly why you need Stamps.com. It eliminates trips to the post office and saves you money with discounts that you can't even get at the post office. Stamps.com brings all the services of the U.S. Post Office right to your computer. They can handle it all. Simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send it. With Stamps.com, you get 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off priority mail. It's no wonder over 700,000 small businesses already use Stamps.com. Right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in TMOS. That's Stamps.com and enter TMOS. You are listening right now to the TMOS Yak Shack. The next call simply says, I don't understand. I've written that before. Usually means what.
Maybe you should
says.
say it like Gene Hackman.
I don't understand.
Thank you.
I don't understand. Let's see what brings us. Take it away, caller.
This is Jeff from Davis, California. Just calling to let you know I got my Cinnabon. I got 2 of them. That's right. And then wait for so long.
What?
Got 2 of them. Oh, so good. $15, though.
Yeah.
$15. But it's so good. $15 a heaven, I don't care. And they give me extra icing.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, that was the donkey from Shrek that was talking to you earlier. And I will update you later because I see
what
I'm going to have some Mel's Diner ahead of me, maybe some Simpson burgers. I see a turkey leg that when they open, I'm getting that turkey leg.
Is he busting on you?
Maybe.
All I do is eat, go ride the rides, and I'm stop.
I can't understand.
This call is coming
I love your show, Mike. You're the greatest. Hi, Rob.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Pony. The Cinnabons are way too. All right, Oscar.
Oscar, he got you in there.
Just mashing your taters, Oscar. All right, see you later.
He's just mashing your
Bye
taters.
He's just mashing your taters.
I like this
get it.
guy.
Okay.
He's a friend. If you're listening, sir, remember I am rooting for you, but you sound like you're making the call from inside your throat.
Yeah. He's just mashing your taters.
All right, the next
He's
call
right,
says
though.
I know.
Cinnabons are too expensive.
Is that
Too
what
expensive?
he said?
Yeah.
How did you catch Cinnabon?
You got to listen like a
I
fat
heard
guy.
Cinnabon. I heard
You
Cinnabon
did?
too, and I'm deaf. I heard Cinnabon. So is it really 2 Cinnabons, $15, something like
Well,
that?
I'm guessing 7, and then tax, and also they probably charged him for the extra icing.
That's the problem with society. We're
It
gonna
can't
have
be
one
free,
show.
Mike.
Oscar, we're gonna have one show one day where we're gonna go through prices. We're gonna do the prices right
I
on
love
the
it.
Mike O'Mara
I
show.
love it.
We would go
Wonderful.
through- How about this? Homework assignment. Okay.
Okay.
It's gonna be harder for me than it is for you guys. We go out into the world and find the biggest ripoff. It can be food. It can be household items. You can go to the grocery store and come back and say, this is what you pay now for this. Yeah, I was talking to my buddy Zach. He came by. We were porch setting yesterday. Zach comes by, and we're talking about milk and bread and all that stuff and how, it's insane. Yeah. It's getting crazy.
What if
for
you
people.
don't know what things should cost?
Well, if you know what? It's got to be something
just use your common sense. If you think that it's like, I'll give you
My wife does the shopping. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know the value of $1.
Okay,
yes,
we're not
do.
explaining it. We have too many calls.
Yeah.
Let's go. I haven't gotten it. This is why.
Mike,
no,
we have to get back to the Yak Shack because that's why we're here.
TMOS Yak Shack. Explain to your brother prices when we're, because she does.
There are 4 quarters to $1. Well, I know you're perfect that way. That's why
doesn't have to be food. Doesn't have to be food.
Why you're looking so skinny lately?
Oh, you know what? I've had a bad year. Jerk.
Next call says I know.
Hey, this is Jeff from Norfolk. I met Rob and Julia at Plan 9 in Richmond a while back while they were checking out VCU. A couple things, just real quick. I've loved you guys for years and stuff like that. But number one of your last week's episodes was called "What Me Worry." I just need to let you know that the Mad Ends Mad is not coming out anymore as of July 4th.
I know.
And
I know.
I did the last fold-in for everyone, and it was boobs, by the way. Also, I take phrases from the show and I'll use them in my everyday language, like, I don't understand. And, you too, you had a boner too, that kind of thing.
That's a good one from our show.
Good call.
First, I have a cousin named Trey, and so I have trouble talking with him about saying the whole tray. It's just wondering where that comes from. So, anyway, I don't know how people do this.
That's a great call.
Anyway,
you're a fan.
Love you, Mike. Love you, Rob.
We love
take
you
care,
too.
Oscar, and I love you, Tony. Take care. Bye.
He was an incredibly nice guy. Remember him that when Julia and I blew off orientation to go to a record store in Richmond, and he was there. He was a very nice guy. I liked him a lot.
Let me take him through it real quick so we can get more calls on here. The isms we use on the show are usually from movies. Yeah. Almost exclusively. Mm-hmm. I don't understand comes from The Birdcage with Gene Hackman when he finds out that Nathan Lane is a man and not a woman. So he goes, I don't understand. The whole tray comes from Tony Soprano on The Sopranos when he was talking about the ziti being gone.
Monsignor Jughead was here.
The whole tray. He took the whole tray of ziti, and oh my God, I forgot the last one.
It was you got a boner too?
That comes from the movie Cocoon, where they go into the pool, where they get the fountain of youth, and they come back and they all are excited.
It's amazing.
And Don Amici says, "You too? You got a boner too?" Not sure how you'd use that one in real life, but
oddly, he also uses that with his cousin Trey. I will, I will open the show tomorrow. We haven't done the Sopranos tape in a while. I will dig up the whole tray because I like that tape.
The whole tray is ziti and Soprano. It's fantastic.
It's great stuff.
Next call on the Yak Shack says, "Nice guy."
Hey, this is Anonymous from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Sounds like a real nice man.
About episode 2253, where everybody was talking about how Jon Stewart and the firefighter that ended up passing away from cancer. My father was a OSHA inspector there 2 weeks after 9/11 happened.
Now, he starts it like this, and at this point I'm thinking, well, probably another tragedy. This takes a little bit of a left turn, so I'm going to jump in on this so you can hear this. I remember this call from this really nice person.
And they didn't wear breathing apparatus to stop them from breathing. I feel sorry for everybody that is dealing with what they've got, but they also did not take masks down to where they were living or where they were working.
Nice guy.
That is my only gripe with everything is that it seems like nobody knows that they had the material or the PPE, personal protective equipment, that they could have grabbed before going down.
Okay. Okay, nice guy. Thank you. Thank you. Let me tell you something. Here's how it goes. They were told the air was safe, you prick. That's why they didn't take the breathing apparatus down there. That's why they got the cancers that they're still suffering from.
Also, if you watch that show on HBO about Chernobyl, do you think those guys wanted to get naked in front of all those other guys? They had to. They were trying to get the work done and see what they could hear. They had to be as comfortable, and I imagine their senses were as important as anything else to get things done.
There was also, as I recall, an element of urgency at the time.
I believe so, Rob. And you know what? And for that guy, he should also know that it doesn't effing matter to me at all. It's coulda, woulda, shoulda. And
I've got something that caller can breathe.
If you'd said to those people, if you don't put these masks on, there's a chance you could get a major disease. You think they would have put them on? Yes,
of course.
Told them they're doing what they're
Either
told.
way,
they're following orders.
They did the work that needed to be done.
Yeah. And this guy basically saying the guy that got cancer, it's his own fault. That's bull. And so anyway, there you go. The next call comes for Robb Spiewak.
Oh, good. Thank you.
We get a Robb call followed by an Oscar call. Here's the Robb call.
Hi, this is a message for Robb with one B, like his ball sack.
Oh.
Robb will lie about this, but it's a challenge. It's sort of an F.U. Robb.
Oh, excellent. Bring it.
Robb, which member of Elvis's Memphis Mafia had a featured role in a reasonably well-known 1970s action-adventure show? Can you do that for me, Robb?
Wait a minute, this has 34 seconds left. Maybe this is another guy. I don't know what's happening. I don't listen to all of them. If I did, I'd be doing it for 5 hours.
USA.
Is he playing a clip?
I guess. The fidelity is great. I think they're singing about Cinnabons.
This is terrifying, Mike.
The answer he's looking for is Red West and Baba Black Sheep.
Terrifying.
With Robert Conrad.
Exactly, yeah.
Knock this off, this battery off.
And also
he played Pappy Boyington. Why do I know this? How about that? I got that one. Wow.
And also Red West, he would go on to have a small role in Roadhouse with Patrick
Oh my God,
Swayze.
we got to take a break.
Oh, we do?
Before we do, let's take an Oscar call.
Oscar call.
Then we'll take a break. And
Oscar
it's
call.
great that I've gotten through like 7 yaks out of my 30. All right, here we go.
Hello, Oscar Carlos Santana.
Oh, Carlos.
Nice.
Let's talk about your daddy issues.
Oh.
Oh, dear.
I mean, there's another family in Bolivia. We all know that.
Legend.
Bolivia.
I mean, we've all seen how your father doesn't want to be with you.
What? God.
So,
excuse me.
That's illegal.
I object and stand up for my compatriot here. You're a dick. That's a dicky thing to say.
Depends
I don't
on the
care
season,
if you're joking.
Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Never been implied he didn't love you.
No,
It's
no,
just that
just
there's so much love in
43
his heart.
seconds left in this
He doesn't
call.
like
All
the
right,
cold
go ahead.
weather.
I just had to intervene there.
Like
Hold
me.
on.
I don't mean to make you cry. I mean, you obviously can't cry because you're a psychopath.
Wow.
But hey, look at those blazers. They fit so
Bluetooth.
Yep.
Horrible call. Come on now.
well. Here's my skin routine.
What?
I don't use a facial moisturizer with alcohol. Because alcohol drives...
Is he doing American Psycho?
Well, he's switched into American
pivot
Psycho.
to
Yeah.
American Psycho.
Yeah.
God, oh my God.
Sir,
Oscar, I don't listen to them all the way. I didn't know that was coming.
We can't just look at it. We got to eat it, too.
He's right,
In 9 more seconds. Should I play the last 9 seconds?
Sure.
Terrifying.
Yeah. And accelerates the aging process. Bye!
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You know, I can roll with a lot of things, but I hate people that put extra E's on bye.
Okay, well,
Not a fan.
He'll call you. Yeah, he'll be
Talk
calling
to Charlie
you next
Bernie.
time.
We need secure doors here.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Lock
We'll
it.
take a break. Come back with what show's flying by like it always does on the Yak Shacks. I've gotten through 1/4 of them. We'll be right back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Alexa, who are the interns on the Mike O'Mara Show?
I don't understand what you mean by interns.
You know, the people behind the scenes.
I don't know what you mean.
Come on, the ones who write all the promos, the people who do all the real work.
Did you mean to search for Matt Ponyboy Bloom?
What? No, he's not an intern.
Now searching for Ponyboy Bloom on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Alexa, cancel. Search people who work hard on TMOS.
Now searching for Maddie Masiello.
No!
Remember, I can play the Mike O'Mara show for you, today and every day. All you need to do is ask Alexa.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by KiwiCo. How would you like a subscription box for your kids that helps them change the world?
Yes!
Say hello to KiwiCo. That rhymed. Say hello to KiwiCo. 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 Creates cool projects for kids, too. To make learning about STEAM, that's science, technology, engineering, art, and math, fun. STEAM is fun. Michael absolutely loves his. He gets a new box every month. Each box is designed by experts and tested by kids and has all the supplies needed for that month's project, with easy-to-follow instructions written for kids. And with 7 lines to choose from, KiwiCo is great for kids of all ages.
Yes.
You're going to love it. KiwiCo, a convenient, affordable way to encourage your children to be anything they want to be. They create. They get creative. They use science. They use technology. They use math. It's fantastic. No commitment. You can cancel anytime. Monthly options start at $19.95 per month. Our listeners can go to kiwico.com/TMOS to get their first month free. Every day counts when it comes to making a difference, so don't miss out on this amazing opportunity. Again, go to kiwico.com/TMOS and get your first month free. That's kiwico.com/TMOS. I'll learn this whole Yak Shack thing because I get, they're fun to talk about. And we take them and whatever. We're not going to get all of them today, but let's take another call. This is about Universal Studios. Let's
love that.
Let's dive in.
This is Jeff from Davis, California. I'm just calling to let you know I'm here in Hollywood at that place, where everybody goes, Universal, whatever they call it. And
Studios.
This is how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick and tired of having to be herded through this massive cattle, and my family dragged me here. They dragged me here to be here early when the only thing is open is Harry Potter. And I'm fat, and I cannot ride rides. I am waiting for Cinnabon, and it's not open.
Is this the same guy? Is this the Cinnabon
I want
guy?
my 2 Cinnabons.
No, it doesn't. It
and
sounds
I want
like
them now. And the turkey leg place is not open, and I'm pissed.
Yeah, then
and
it gotta be.
Is this
I'm
guy?
pissed
Hold
off
on.
at you
Is
too.
this?
Because you know why?
What?
I went there to get my free donut on Donut Day, and all these homeless people were at Walmart.
Oh, stop that.
Mike,
all right.
Could you do the Sacramento dance?
Okay, shut up. Anyway, that's enough.
Well, I'm glad he got to all
Sometimes
this.
they get jumbled up. I don't
Glad
know.
he got to all the stuff on his checklist.
And when he called us, I don't know if the fidelity of his call completely changed.
It's weird.
After
like
he
maybe
had the
due to
Cinnabons.
alcohol.
Like
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
maybe hiding in a closet at Hogwarts on that second call.
Hey, you want to hear from Diamond Dave?
Please.
More than anything.
Let's get a call from Diamond Dave.
Hey, it's Diamond Dave calling from Silver Spring. I'm stuck in traffic, but I have a legitimate goddamn question. So don't turn it off. Thank you. I remember Don and Mike's show that you guys would get celebrity endorsements. You would try to get celebrities that you met or you ran into or interviewed on the show and try to get them to record a promo, even just a quick one for the show.
Yeah, I never
At
listened.
some point, you realize a lot of them had never heard of you or they hadn't heard the show, and you realize it would be just fine if they would say, when I'm in D.C., I never listened to the Don and Mike show.
Right.
And it became a running gag. So I'm trying to remember, and I'm wondering if you guys have some favorite celebrity endorsements, promos that you cut, that you got celebrities to cut for the show. And I'll hang up and complain.
Yeah, I remember those promos. The one that I like the most, I don't. Anyway,
Actually,
I don't remember
you recorded the best one of all.
Which one?
George Harrison.
George, hello, this is George Harrison, and never listen, and maybe I'll listen.
Yeah.
Backstage at the Princess Trust concert.
Of all the people I know,
how far the mighty have fallen.
Of all the people in my circle, you're the only one I know that's ever met a Beatle. That's so cool.
It was cool. Backstage, I met Bryan Adams, I met Boy George, and one other. I don't.
Was
remember.
it Elton John?
No, I don't think I met Elton John. I would have remembered that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
it was.
maybe I blocked this up, but I never knew you met George Harrison.
Yeah.
Met George Harrison backstage at the Princess Trust
That
concert.
is effing wild.
Yeah.
I
it
don't
was
know what
pretty
I would have
cool.
done with
It was
myself.
pretty cool.
That's
It was
amazing
pretty
to
cool.
me.
Well, I soiled myself, and then I had to go back to the hotel. Poop running down his leg. Next call is.
What's that coming out of your pant leg?
What is that? Look at that. He's got a big stein. All right, you want a good question? This is a good question on the TMOS Yak Shack. Let's listen.
Yeah, this question's for Oscar. Scott, who would you rather see naked? The USA team or the Netherlands team?
Great question.
It is.
I think most men, when they're watching the women's soccer championship.
Oh, I thought he was talking about men's bobsledding.
Look, they're athletes to begin with, so they're going to look great.
Right.
You
watched a little bit of the game, though.
I watched the
did not.
entire game. Yes,
You watched the entire game.
At my
so
parents.
you had to have it. I know how you think,
Yes.
and I love this question
This is
because I
perfect.
want the answer.
The the forwards on the Netherlands team, they have a little more muscle mass than the forwards on, I would say, the entire U.S. team.
Okay.
So I like my women a certain way, and I think you know which way it is, sir.
The 48-pounder midfielder is coming up across the center line.
So it depends on a man's taste. And as of the last 10 years, I would say the Netherlands are more in vogue than the U.S. team as far as shape of a woman. Because things have changed, Mike, as you know. There are men
Just in case. I'm going to do that, just in case.
He's all over the place with it.
I
so I'm
can't
not
be
quite
as
sure where
sexist
he's
as
going.
possible. Do you
Do
understand?
you think that extra mass comes from the wearing of wooden shoes?
So I choose the USA for various reasons, but for the
And because you love this country?
Yes, because I love this country.
I'll tell you what, and this is my only comment because I've done this all after the fact. These women on the USA team are. It's just, they're so cool.
Yes.
They are so at the pinnacle of coolness right now. Just the way they're handling it and, just the way they're doing interviews and enjoying the moment. I love it. I love the celebration in the locker room. And there was one young lady that was doing, what would be described by the kids today as twerking.
Yes.
And it was a special performance. And I'm like, USA all the way. Red, white, and blue.
They have their
that's
parade
it.
today.
That's
right.
That's
Ticker
one,
tape.
where are they?
Yes.
Where are they? And are they
Manhattan.
having? Oh, not Detroit.
No.
All right.
And then a stop in Pittsburgh.
There you go. That's it for your yaks. We'll do. We might do more tomorrow, or we might do them on the bonus show, or we might do whatever. We'll take a break and come back with more fun on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hello, listeners. This is Alan from Vegas, and I'm here
Hi,
to
Alan.
help you prepare for your trip to TMOS Live in November. Today, we'll learn about Nevada's official state symbols. The official state insect of Nevada is the vivid dancer damselfly. This species of damselfly is easily identified by its bold blue body and black striping on its tail. If you want to look like a fly damsel at TMOS Live, wear something sparkly and a fancy hat. And don't forget to buy your tickets.
And then it's
Straightforward.
gone.
Very straightforward.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by our bonus packages. Hey, jack off. Do you remember David Letterman?
Yes.
He was like an angry Jimmy Fallon, except Dave was funny. He brought us viewer mail, stupid pet tricks, and, of course, fun facts. Facts like, select vegetarians will not play Go Fish. Thomas Edison also changed the first light bulb. When Nightline can't book an interview with a major politician, they often use lookalikes. And the number one source of laughter worldwide is the TMOS Bonus Show. Remember, the Bonus Show is your passport to the assport. Click the banner on our website and you'll get access to all of our bonus content and you'll be helping the show. So please buy the TMOS Bonus Show and get ready for late night laughter, Paul. Phone the neighbors, wake the kids. My, oh my. The TMOS Bonus Show brought to you by Toffee Faye. Toffee Faye. It's too good for kids, but not too good for you. Oh, what the hell? News. What the hell are we doing on this show today? It's been totally
It's
insane.
a hazelnut-based candy.
It's a screwy way to make a living. Wow. Just a weird one today.
Yeah,
I don't
I
care
agree.
how you
The
say
energy.
it. Rip Torn died yesterday. Oh, sad. There's no word yet the cause of death. He was old. He was 88 years old. Rip was nominated for 6 Emmys for his work on The Larry Sanders Show in the 90s. He won one of them. He was also nominated for an Oscar for the 1984 movie Cross Creek. You may remember him from his run-ins with the law in his later years, including 2 drunken driving arrests. In 2010, he was arrested for drunkenly breaking into a bank in Connecticut with a loaded gun because he thought it was his home. Kind of sad the way he went towards the end. Not surprisingly, many people found him difficult to work with. Here is a rip-torn fun fact for you. Sissy Spacek was his cousin.
No kidding.
I did not know that.
He goes back to the classic days of method acting, and he was known as a method actor. It was one of his calling cards. And also, I do think that if you go back and you look at the Larry Sanders Show, his character of Arthur, I put it up there as one of the greatest, most well-formed comedy characters of all, like Barney Fife even. I mean, it's just so
Sweetheart,
great and
baby.
based
There
on
you
Fred
go.
de Cordova. Wonderful. So good.
Absolutely.
So good.
Mariah Carey is 49 years old, so she's been around the block a few times, but when it comes to her love life, her magic number is surprisingly low. She says, quote, I haven't had that many, but there has been a variety pack. I've only been with 5 people in my life, so I'm kind of a prude. Honestly, compared to most others in the field. Elsewhere in the interview, Mariah explains what sets her apart from today's pop stars. Quote, they have no idea what I went through as a child to even get to be an 18-year-old girl with a record deal. This was before you could just go on YouTube and sing. So that's Mariah. 5 men. I
Do you
would
believe her?
I
Tommy Mottola counted as 3.
Tommy Mottola, because Tommy Mottola swept in and squired her back in the day.
Don't make love to anyone else after this.
I'm Tommy Mottola. You don't bang anybody else ever.
You wait here. You wait here.
Picture Tommy Mottola like sitting out in his tub. Nick Cannon. What the hell? Nick Cannon. Jeez, give me an effing break. Everybody knew Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson were moving too fast. This is a news story that will make Pete Davidson feel really good about himself.
Oh, good.
Well, everybody knew that they were flying, and we were all commenting on it,
Yes.
except Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. But Ariana is admitting it now. Here's the quote. I met Pete, and it was an amazing distraction. It was frivolous and fun and insane and highly unrealistic. And I loved him, and I didn't know him. Like I'm an infant when it comes to real life. They hooked up pretty soon after her breakup with Mac Miller, so she was still reeling from that. Here's another quote. By no means was what we had perfect, but Mac was the best person ever, and he didn't deserve the demons he had. I was the glue for such a long time, and I found myself becoming less and less sticky. The pieces just started to float away. I
like when Ariana Grande is more sticky.
You know, well, I think probably now Pete Davidson might be the stickier one. No, Pete Davidson's gone on to. He's got the gift of gab. Kate Beckinsale, the older woman. I mean, he's fine. But I mean, that would make me feel kind of crappy if I was Pete Davidson, because she says basically it was a frivolous moment.
He's probably hating on the Kate Beckinsale. I guess a charade.
Is he still with her? They broke up, I think, didn't they?
But
I think they did.
Let's think about this. If you break up with the girl or guy, either, and then they go on to date someone that's hotter and more famous to a certain extent, established career. In her own right, Ariana Grande is like a superstar. Right. And then he goes on to date another smoke show, and you're still there trying to figure out how to write your next hit, which he has. Like, you're going to be jealous. And if you're going to act out like that, that's what...
So you think she's acting out and dissing him?
Because she's in her early 20s, and that's what happens.
And Pete Davidson, he's got the advantage because all he has to do...
real Oscar right there. What's that?
He doesn't have to worry about being funny. He just has to go and bang people. That's what he does. And stays on Saturday Night Live.
And it's a pretty good gig if you look like a praying mantis.
Bad.
You know, it really is. A lot of videos lately of people going viral for licking ice cream at a store and then putting it back in the freezer. So now apparently some stores, oh, come on, don't do this. Some stores are locking up their ice cream freezers so they're not Don't most ice creams, commercial ice creams, have a safety seal on them anyway?
But the idea, they got the idea of the ice cream lock from Carla O'Mara.
That's in our house. Stop
sorry about that.
And that's an old-fashioned padlock, you know? Well, I got the bolt cutters.
Yeah, if you think, most ice cream has a safety seal that you have to break to open it. So
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, really, have you ever wrestled with a Ben & Jerry's pint once in a while?
After a few drinks, it's the biggest problem in the world.
I swear to God, I don't know if it was Ben or Jerry that said, yeah, put it this way, so people literally can't open it. What kind of plastic? Anyway, people have been tweeting photos from stores with locks on their freezers with signs like, please see employee for help. That is so funny. It all feels vaguely familiar. This is what happened during the Tide Pod Challenge, where some stores started locking up their Tide Pods to keep dummies from buying and eating them.
Mike McIntosh.
America. You know your dog licks everything, right? You're aware of this? Rotten food.
Not ice cream.
Rotten food in the bushes, dirty sidewalks, his own rectum. Just making sure you're aware of this.
Right.
According to a new survey, 61% of dog owners don't care about any of that and say they kiss their dog on the mouth.
Oh, no.
And 52% say they kiss their dog more often than they kiss their significant other. Although there's no word on how often they go in for a kiss and have their significant other turn their head away in disgust and go, ew, brush your teeth first. I saw you making out with the dog. The survey also found the majority of people would rather share their bed with their dog than their partner. We have 3 dog owners here, so I'm just curious. I kiss Frankie a lot on the mouth. I give him a kiss on the mouth.
I kiss on the snoot, not like on the lips.
No, it's close to the lips. The snout may contain snouts. That is close to the mouth.
All right, then I guess I'm guilty too.
Yeah,
you kiss Santos on the lips?
Santos is a prude. So I'm on the opposite side, but I'd rather sleep alone than with Santos.
Does he turn away when you go in for a kiss?
Yeah, he loves
or
kissing
anything like
Shannon. He hates me.
He claims that he has a headache.
Okay, very good. Well, I
Kinda
kiss
like my real
Frankie.
marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
I kiss Frankie frequently, but only very rarely do I use tongue. The sheriff's department, and now a little something.
Thank you.
In Clay County, Missouri. Missouri was hunting for a suspect yesterday who had a felony warrant for drug possession, and they found him when he gave away his hiding spot by loudly passing gas. There you go. Oh, sound effect time. Thank you. Unfortunately, we don't have any other details on this story, but really, what else do you need? On a related note, Missouri will be changing its motto. It will now be known as the Smell Me State. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
On and gone.
Perfectly done. Perfectly done.
There was this guy on a beach towel without any legs. Anyway, we'll take a break, and we'll come back with more fun. The Audio Vault right here on the Mike O'Mara Show as Rob spends this time playing the sounds of summertime, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your summertime. Make sure you put on sunscreen today if you're out by the beaches. Thank you.
Here it is, a groove slightly transformed.
My name is Matthew Ponyboy Bloom, and I approve this message.
In this era of fake news, who is our best, most trusted source of entertainment?
Who
Clearly
is most
not
trusted?
Mike O'Mara. Did you know that Mr. O'Mara voted to defund his interns? He
Mifter.
works them for free. Disgusting. Also,
right.
the other
Always
day,
will.
Mike didn't wish Oscar's dog happy birthday. Does Mr.
Happy
O'Mara
birthday,
believe
Santos.
dogs don't deserve love on their birthdays? I think so. Heartless, avid golfer, Floridian. Just a few words to describe the monster behind the mic. Let Pony,
Monster.
a proven patriot, lead your mornings right. Sign up for the bonus show to give Pony the spotlight he rightfully deserves. This
Amen.
grassroots movement needs your support. Together, we can dethrone the host with the most medical problems. This ad was paid in part by the OFIC, Organization for Intern Compensation.
I'm still Matthew Bloom, and I still approve this message.
I got my eyes on you, Pony. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Las Vegas. Yes,
Vegas.
just
Yes.
Las Vegas.
Yes.
All right, time to get serious. I
Serious.
told you about that offer by Friday if it happens. Third
It's a
left
big
offer.
it's a big
right
offer.
here.
Big offer.
Right here on this, 2 big offers. Anyway, time is running out to buy your tickets for the TMOS 10th Anniversary Spectacular.
What's the matter
on
with you?
On Saturday, November 16th, 2019. There are only a few tickets left, and you keep putting it off. What's wrong with you? Get your tickets for TMOS Live, the Spectacular. They will sell out. The TMOS 10th Anniversary Spectacular, brought to you by Zappos. Be sure to be there. You won't be sorry. This is an entirely different show with a very, very fun subject matter, which we've already been talking about. It's going to be exciting, and we will see you there. Get your tickets for Saturday. The Friday show already sold out. That's the show on the 15th. The show that's available, just a few left,
Grab 'em.
is Saturday night, November 16th at the Zappos Council Chambers Theaters. We'll see you there. Thank you very much. Let's open up the audio vault, ladies and gentlemen, for today, Wednesday, the 10th of July, 2019. Rob Speed.
Here's whack. Here's what's wrong.
Here's whack.
Here's what's wrong with America is that O.J. Simpson is on Twitter, and we're just okay with it. We're letting this happen.
Yeah.
And
what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
I mean, but we're ignoring it almost. I mean, we're not. We're just saying.
Isn't that a good thing, though? I mean, it's kind of good to be ignoring the guy.
I think what we need to keep the heat on him to realize he's acting like such a jerk. And Jimmy Kimmel did this last night. He highlighted this tweet. I don't know why I find this as entertaining as I do, but let's remind people that OJ is out there and being a jerk. Let's remind them of that, okay?
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Twitter world, this is yours truly. You know, it's hard for me to believe that today I'm celebrating my 33rd annual 39th birthday.
Oh, it's hard for me to believe, too, that you're celebrating on a golf course instead of in a prison. But, OJ, 72 years ago today, someone thought it was a good idea to write Orenthal on a birth certificate. And show the clip again, because I'm fascinated with how he begins this video.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like he's doing a commercial for arthritis cream or something. On OJ's birthday, do you think his family lets him cut the cake?
We got your eye on you. We got an eye on you, Juice.
That's good, Jimmy. Way to go.
All right. Yesterday we lost Rip Torn. We also lost Ross Perot, the first man I ever voted for president.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's a cool fun fact. I like that.
It was cool. It was 92, and I covered his rally in Richmond, and I liked what I saw, and that's who I voted for.
Way to cancel out the Democratic vote. All right.
Hey,
sorry. I'm sorry about that. You know me. I'm a partisan, Rob. If
you
I'm
are
anything, I'm a partisan.
And a grudge holder. And a grudge holder. It's all right. Would you like to hear Ross Perot talk, or would you like to hear Dana Carvey as Ross Perot?
I think of all the impressions, one of my all-time favorites, the high-pitched guys like George H.W. Bush and Ross Perot. The Dana Carvey Ross Perot is one of the great political impressions of all time. So I'd like to hear Dana Carvey.
All right. Here's Ross Perot, quote unquote, dead from leukemia.
Here is the deal, see. Now, he's got one eye almost shut like that. See, here it is. Now, Christmas season, isn't this nice? I love those Christmas songs. Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Now, what the hell is a red-nosed reindeer? A reindeer with a drinking problem, I swear. Now, I just adore it here, and so do all my kids, so does Mark. I love Ross Perot at a press conference. Did you love when he gets to... Yeah, but what? How, do you have any evidence? What? You're not listening to one word I'm saying, are you? You want a sound bite? Is that what you want? You want a little sound bite, little something to put in your press story there? Is that what you want? See? Is that what you like, huh? Now, the deficit is like a crazy ant down in the basement. No one is paying attention to her. And she is just getting ornery and stinkier. You catch me? I say, take her out, slap her around, and hose her down.
That's a good impression.
Ross Perot. Are you familiar with an Instagram influencer, Oscar, named Belle Delphine?
Oh, absolutely.
She is a Instagram model that caters to gamers.
Hey, Oscar, is that worth the text?
Yeah, it is. It just, if Carla finds it, there's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, she leans adult.
Now he's depriving me, and I'm absolutely crazy.
I would say her look is vaguely Asian. She's very attractive.
Okay.
But she caters to gamers, and she's got a new money-making scheme.
Delphine.
She filmed herself in a bathtub and is selling the bathwater for $30 a jar.
Oh, ew.
And here's the thing. She sold out.
Of course she has.
So she's going to have to take another bath.
Rise up, gamer boys. It's time to get your gamer girl bathwater.
$30.
$30 a jar.
Little jar.
I sent you a text, Mike.
That's nice.
Thank you, Oscar. That's very kind of you.
So while we wait that text to arrive, if you're in South Carolina, beware of carjackers and the weapons they might use to steal your car.
It all began when the suspect approached a victim in an attempt to steal her vehicle. She swung sticks, she threw a snake at her, and even hit her in the head with her fist.
So
Oscar, I got to be honest with you. It's a little more pony than Mike O'Mara.
That's the thought I had.
Yeah.
I thought pony right away.
$30 is too much.
Yeah.
$15 okay with you?
That's fine.
Yeah. Or are you sad about the small portions?
Yeah. And now Mike will be playing the game How to Delete.
So remember,
sometimes I just have to listen to Oscar and shut the hell up. I really, really do.
But remember, when she throws the snake, that's when she's going to steal your car. It's going to be into confusion. All right, Mike, we close with a pair of tapes here. When, you hear about the Swiss Army all the time. Great knives. Did you know that Switzerland has an air force?
I didn't know that.
They do, and they arranged a flyover, but they messed up. They didn't fly over the place they were supposed to. They accidentally flew over a yodeling festival.
The Swiss Defence Ministry has had to apologise after their crack air display team performed a flyby over the wrong town. The team flew 4 miles further away, which happened to be hosting the 31st Northwest Yodeling Festival. The squadron leader apparently saw the huge marquee set up for the yodelers and misdirected the jets. The group performed 4 formations for the startled yodelers, who were said to have enjoyed the unexpected show. Weather now, here's Ben Rich.
When you book a fly past, you don't expect them to actually fly right past,
yodeling and then
yeah.
Now, Mike, no footage exists of this error, but our NBC animation team has put together what it might have sounded like
very
when they had a flyover the yodeling
Okay.
festival.
Let's listen.
That's your Magic Audio Vault. Happy birthday, OJ!
Oh, my
Have a great
gosh.
Wednesday, everybody.
Orenthal.
Perfect.
Hey, everybody, don't forget tickets on sale for our big Las Vegas show in Las Vegas on Saturday night, November 16th. Buy your tickets right now. Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com to get yours, and you might have remembered the treat I offered if we sell out by Friday.
Do it!
Anyway, we'll see what happens.
2 treats.
Kind of
Too far? Sorry.
mixed emotions.
That's his joke.
Mixed emotions. And I'll spend the rest of the afternoon trying to get this lovely lady, Belle Delphine, off my phone. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara saying, see you next time, everybody.
So long.
Ciao, ciao.
Before you go, please make a mental note. Today's show was made possible by the TMOS bonus packages. You can secure yours right now by going to MikeO'MaraShow.com and clicking on the red bonus banner. Buy it or give it. Either way, you're helping out TMOS, and that's a good thing. Thank you, and go in peace.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you just kiss my left nut?
Yeah, boy!
Gentlemen, please, get your act together.